In today's episode, let's talk about speed bumps and intentional inefficiency. Yesterday, I was doing some work for a client using generative AI to build synthetic customers and then extract data about those customers to power some market research initiatives, which is a fun exercise. You get a chance to create essentially virtual people and just talk to them, say, hey, think about this. How would you react to this and stuff? It's like a virtual focus group. And today's biggest most powerful generative AI models like Claude 3 Opus or ChatGPT with the GPT-4 Turbo or Gemini 1.5. All these models can do this particular technique really, really well and generate some pretty incredible results. Along the way in this process, one part where the most efficient thing to do would have been to write a Python script that took the output from one generative AI system and looped it back into another one. It would have made the process seamless. One button, and the output from one part of the conversation goes to another part of the conversation, and boom, you get the results immediately. Odd good idea. And the reason I didn't do that was because, well, you need a human, right? I manually copied and pasted between the two systems, which seems like a bad idea. It's very inefficient. I'm not a particularly good data scientist, right? But if I had done that, there would have been no human in the loop. There would have been no human review, no human oversight along the way. And the machines would have just taken content from one thing, pushed it into the next thing, pushed it into the next thing. And that means that there were no checks on it. There are no validation. There's no, hey, that's not appropriate, or that's wrong, or that's stereotyped, or that's outright. Right? All those things can happen if you just let machines run and do their thing without themselves, without any inspection. So it is okay to have that inefficiency, right? Just because data is flowing doesn't mean the data is any good. Sewage flows real well through pipes, but you don't want that in the fresh water piping, right? AI systems, which take things like prompts and encapsulate them in code that then run. But sometimes you want inefficiency. You want to have speed bumps. You want to slow things down so that you can check your work, so that you can validate that a system is doing what it's supposed to be doing and just smooth everything out and automate it all the way through. You run the risk of not allowing that to happen. Ahead, end-to-end automation with no oversight, you run a very high risk of systems doing things that you don't want, doing things that are very high risk, giving advice that's questionable or outright wrong. So build systems that are using generative AI in particular. Ask where in that system are you going to intentionally introduce inefficiency to permit human review? And yes, it will be a bottleneck. Yes, it will be slower than letting the system just run fully autonomously. But it will give you the ability to inspect it and it'll let you cover your butt. So that the system, if it does misbehave, you can at least say, yeah, well, we had safeguards in there. It may have not adhered to them, but your chances are if you have human review, you'll catch it earlier as well. So think about those speed bumps and think about where in your generative AI processes you will intentionally have inefficiency so that you can keep systems well behaved. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you want to know when new videos are available, hit the bell button to be notified as soon as new content is live.